Ohanaeze Ndigbo has cautioned President Bola Tinubu against linking the release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu to political support from the Southeast in the 2027 elections. In a statement by his Deputy President General, Okechukwu Isizuzoro, the Igbo Apex group welcomed Tinubu's openness to a political resolution, but firmly rejected any attempt to use Kanu's freedom as a tool for electoral gains. The group emphasized that Kanu's continued detention must be addressed through dialogue, not political manipulation or propaganda, and praised Minister David Umahi for facilitating high-level talks. Ohanaeze also warned against individuals exploiting the situation for personal benefit and called for a 90-day ceasefire from inflammatory rhetoric to allow peaceful negotiations to proceed. While reiterating its support for Tinubu's administration, Ohanaeze stressed that the Southeast will not trade justice for political favors. What do you make of this development?
I 100% applaud this man for this statement. But where I disagree is the issue of negotiation.
You're right.
See, Nigeria must come to the time where we begin to eschew this political maneuvering. When we want to seek for political support, we do things that we are not supposed to do. We should allow the judiciary to handle this Nnamdi Kanu's matter. The justice of this country must take its complete toll on this matter. I don't believe in negotiation. If he has committed anything, the law should hold him responsible. Because if you don't do that, it will serve as a deterrent to so many others. The moment this man is freed, under the auspices of we want to negotiate because Igbo should vote for the president in 2027, more than 10 persons will come back to do this same thing that he has done. Even the Bible said so. That when a spirit leaves a man, that spirit will fly for some time. But if that house is empty, the spirit will not just return alone, it will return with too many spirits and possess that place. So I think that the Nigerian government should look at this matter very critically. Nnamdi Kanu, if he has committed an offense, which I know he has, so many persons who have been killed in this country are traceable to Nnamdi Kanu, especially in the east, in the southeast. And so I think that the law should hold him responsible. If the law grants him freedom, let him go, because it is the law. Because of course, Chukwude Oputa had told us that when the Supreme Court gives judgment, it is not that they are not fallible, because they are human beings. So whatever the law says, the law should take its course. But coming on the ground of negotiating Nnamdi Kanu for the vote of Ndigbo for 2027, I disagree totally. I don't agree that. And I think that the men like this, even holding the exalted position in holds in Ndigbo and coming out to speak boldly, I give him credence for saying this. Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't be the basis for which Igbos should vote for President Ahmed Bola Tinubu.
All right, very well. Now, you said that if Nnamdi Kanu has committed anything, he should face the full weight of
the law.
And for you, political solutions should not be considered
in
this matter.
At all.
Very well. Now, if I may ask you, how come in Niger Delta,
yes,
the killings over Niger Delta, marginalization and agitation, the killings, the kidnappings, bombing of pipelines, a lot of crime was committed in Niger Delta, particularly River State. And at the end of the day, there was political solution. An amnesty was granted.
Yes.
And in fact, as far as we were concerned, there was no justice for the blood that was shed on the ground of the Niger Delta region. Rather, there was what I would call a reward system for the people. In fact, one of the people that were one of the arrowheads in that particular, during that particular crisis, as it were, is still guiding the waterways of Nigeria. What do you have to say to that?
Let me put this to you.
Go ahead.
First and foremost, the Niger Delta agitation was for a cause.
What was the cause?
They were fighting for the ownership of the resources of the Niger Delta, for which the foreigners had come to take complete dominance, and there was nothing left for the Niger Deltans. Secondly, their environments were highly polluted to the extent that their livelihood and lives were shattered, and they couldn't have a place any longer. And so they cried to the government for several years, and nothing happened. Even to the extent that they lost very important Niger Deltans, people like our brother in Ogoni lost his life, and so many other persons lost their lives for that agitation. Yes, and so many others. And they lost their life for this particular agitation. And Nigerian government did not give them any listening ear.
Well, Farowiwa's death linked directly to the agitation of a murder of the Ogoni. Was it Ogoni 9?
No, it was not linked. It was linked. What caused that murder? It was an oil issue. Issue of the natural resources of our people. And that was why Kensa was stood against it. He was not killed because he killed those persons. No. He stood, even to the extent when he was asked.
What was he convicted?
Convicted because it was a military government. They can give you anything and charge you for anything.
What was he convicted for?
Convicted for what? For murder? Or for what?
What was he convicted for?
I wouldn't come here to say whatever he was convicted for. Even Nigerian government accepted that whatever conviction that was made of that man was illegal. And so there's no reason discussing what he was convicted for. And Nigerian government have tried to do everything to see how they can placate what they wrongly did during the military administration. Even recently, they even had to give them posthumous awards and all that to see to it that at least the Ogoni persons begin to see reason for which they will even be happy for Nigerians. You know what it means to murder their people for the agitation of their own resources. And so, the Nnamdi Kanu you are talking about cannot tell us what he's agitating for in this country. Tell me what he's agitating for. That's one. Number two, can you link anybody directly or indirectly that any of these persons you mentioned their name had killed that you know? You cannot mention any, but you can mention many to Nnamdi Kanu.
Were there kidnaps?
Kidnaps.
Were there killings?
These killings, there was no. I cannot point at any killing.
Were there killings?
I cannot point at any.
Hold on. Was there sabotage of Nigerian economy?
Good.
Was there explosion of?
Good. Those ones are talking.
Hold on. These things happened.
Yes.
People died.
Now,
in Niger Delta.
Now the question is.
Hold on. In making defense of the reason for agitation by Niger Deltans, it will not be fair if human lives that went down are swept under the carpet. Because whatever we do, we will not lose our sense of humanity in whatever we do. People were killed, and those lives must be acknowledged.
Let me tell you.
Whether we like it or not.
Let me tell you.
The point I am making at the end of the day is this. Nigeria has a reward system.
No, you are still going there. You have said that.
I have said that, and I'm still saying.
And I want to correct that impression.
Hold on. You can't correct an impression.
No, I can't correct that impression.
Hold on, Honorable. Nigeria has a reward system that can be swept under a carpet. Was there Niger Delta agitation? Yes. Whatever reason they are agitating for, you say the reason is logical, the reason is rational, and the reason holds water. That's for the Niger Deltas. Now, the Igbos, on the other hand, are agitating against marginalization. For you, their reason for agitation holds no water. For them and the historical pain that they carry, the reason for their agitation holds water. You cannot sweep their agitation under the ground because you're not directly affected by it. Now, the question is, if the government, on one hand, is giving amnesty to a set of people that committed crime while agitating, why, on the other hand, are they bringing consequence management on another region that is agitating as well? Let us look at insecurity in the country. In 2023, 2024 by the way, and early 2025, Nigeria was hit with food scarcity that has never happened before.
No, you are going back to...
No.
We are leaving the discussion on
I am not. You're not moderating. Allow me. You will have your floor. Now, we were hit with food scarcity, and it was directly linked to insecurity. And insecurity, a lot of it was linked to Headsmen. Now, this is an ethnic group whose business is into cattle grazing. What was the move of the government? A law to grant them to have businesses across the states, even though the causes of insecurity by them have not been dealt with. It is on record that the killing by killer headsmen is one of the highest in Africa. Insecurity. What has Nigeria done to that situation? But a region, you're saying no, there should be no political, but in your own region, Honorable Kingsley Akumefile, there was political negotiation. If this is holding a region of the country hostage, why can't there be political negotiation for peace to reign? Will you say the agitations of the Igbos do not matter just because you're not from that region? Then where is the spirit of equity and fairness? Why is it that what is good for the goose is not good for the gander, Honorable Kingsley?
Good.
You may have your seat.
First and foremost, the Igbos are not agitating for anything as it is today, apart from the creation of another state that will make it 6 states in the region. Secondly, the agitation for what Nnamdi Kanu was doing was not an Igbo cause, it was his personal cause. That I know very well because I am part of it, because my mother is from Igbo, and I know everything that happened. Nnamdi Kanu is not even, the majority of the leadership of Igbos are not in support of what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. That's true. Number 3, the persons Nnamdi Kanu have killed through his surrogates and all that are not people from outside Igbo, are his own people.
When you say surrogates, what do you mean?
His groups. The boys has brought as militias, because he has his own militia, people he equipped with guns and arms who are going about killing their own people.
Do you know the name of these groups?
The group?
Yes.
It's a Biafra army, call them Biafra soldiers or whatever they call them. They have different names. In fact, today they have the Biafra, they have different names.
For someone who say you have been...
No. I don't want...
From the
he has different names that they call them. The one they have, the Eastern whatever thing now, is what the states decided to create. He has different names for his own. Biafra army, Biafra this one and all that. He has them.
So apparently you cannot name one of these.
There is no need. Naming what? I don't
need. What is it? I mean, you are well informed.
What is the reason for those army of young people that he armed?
What groups are
in this place? We were fighting for a cause. The leadership of the Niger Delta supported that cause, and there was no time they went to market area to shoot their own people. There was no time they closed the market state from Monday to Tuesday to be this.
What happened? What was the killing that happened in Ogoni?
Which
that
killing?
had another set of Ogoni people executed.
That killing,
now you have said
that killing, like I told you, is linked to the oil.
Who killed who?
Who killed who was because of those who have been bought over by the government or the military, and people felt they had sold them out. That was what happened. Nothing happened. In this case of Nnamdi Kanu, what is he actually fighting for?
Nothing happened.
That you go to a community, you show that community, you kill your own people. You see people coming with a government number, your own people, you kill them. You see your own in-law, somebody who is coming to marry your sister because he's wearing Nigerian army uniform, you kill him. You kill the woman, your own sister. What is he actually fighting for? He is not fighting, as far as I'm concerned, he's not fighting for anything. There's no agitation for the Igbos. It is a personal interest that he has. And he is using it, he knows he's using it to collect money from people. So he's not fighting for any cause. These guys, over the years, have said, government, call these companies to order. Our environments have been polluted. We do not have a place any longer. And the government, rather than doing what was right, did what they know, escalated that challenge, and the people never did anything other than blow the pipelines so that they could stop this oil operation. They were kidnapping expatriates. We don't want them in our land.
There are no kidnappings.
As at that time, the kidnappings were only for the expatriates.
Did the victims lose their lives?
Who lost the life? Now, call the name of the person who lost the life.
No,
I am saying that.
Did the victims lose their lives?
If in the course of trying to kidnap an expatriate and a stray bullet, shoot somebody and he dies, and this guy were not doing it intentionally, but this one people will come out to the market, shoot everybody sporadically. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Kingsley Akumefile.
And also remember that the lives of Mujahid Asad Okubo went to detention for so many years. He was there. Let him remain there. The law, he was led through the law. Let the law release him. Not in a negotiation that they should come and vote for a president. Let me ask you.
Honorable Kingsley Akumefile, hold on. You said that expatriates were kidnapped, that there was nothing wrong. The people that lost their lives as a result of stray bullets. The Ogoni people that were killed by fellow Ogoni people were killed because they were compromised. You know, while you were speaking, I was just hearing you trying to make sense of evil.
No, you don't say
that.
that.
No, hold on.
No,
Under the guise of agitation. While in no way am I defending, and never have I defended, the killings going on in the southeast. And from what you have said, it is clear that you do not understand the exact insecurity that has plagued the southeast. And that was why I asked you, mention these people, the Bubagos and the Umuomas and the ESNs and all of that, and who played what role. You have not. At some point, Asari Dokubo that you're talking about also came out to say that his boys, was it the Bubagos or so? Yes. Asari Dokubo that you're talking about
don't have a group called
has come out. Hold on, go and do your investigation.
You don't have a group called Bubago now.
Listen, I am telling you now.
Is it owned by Asari Dokubo?
Honorable Kingsley Akumefule, go and do your investigation before you come out and speak about an agitation.
I am telling you, Asari Dokubo don't have a group called Bubago. Bubago is not an agent.
Honorable Kingsley, I am quoting. Hold on, I am quoting Asari Dokubo. Do well to do your investigation
that he did what?
On this matter. Now, moving forward, you have made all this case that you have made as to why Niger Delta agitation was reasonable and the amnesty was necessary. That is the agitation of a region. However, the agitation of another region.
I have not talked about amnesty. Listen, please.
Hold on.
I didn't bring. I'm not saying it about amnesty. I talked about agitation. I didn't say the amnesty was necessary. I didn't say so.
The agitation of another region. It is not the agitation of another region, but the agitation of one man. Now, Honorable Kingsley, what you will not do is to sweep the pain of an entire ethnic city or ethnic group under the carpet.
Which of the ethnic group?
Whether you like the modus operandi of Nnamdi Kanu or not, the fact remains that there has been concerns that led to a civil war. A civil war that was led by Odumegwu Ojukwu.
Can you trace that war? Can we discuss that war?
And even after the civil war,
yes,
that peace.
What was the concern for the civil war?
The seeming peace has not returned up until date. And like it or yes, like the Ohanaeze Ndigbo said, even if Nnamdi Kanu is released today, the truth of the matter is that that ideology will still be there until it's addressed. Whether he's released or whether he is through political means or through the courts or he is not, the truth of the matter remains that that agitation still has life. And it must be addressed at some point by the leaders of the country. I have brought up the issue of the Headsmen, who to date has not been proscribed as terrorist organization. But the level of killing that can be traced to them has been unprecedented. And until now, not one arrest has been made of these killer Headsmen. Not one arrest, not one successful prosecution. Now, when the South is now come out to say, oh, there appears to be some level of unfairness in dealing with issues. I want to make it make sense to me. Does it mean that the people who are being killed, the people massacred in the north, their lives don't matter? Do cattle have more weight than them? I am questioning the consequence management and the reward system of this country.
You see, you are
making make sense.
You are modeling the whole matter.
I am not modeling the whole matter. I am looking at it holistically.
Then if you want to look at it holistically, discuss it holistically, then don't bring an issue as a sectional issue. I want to use any other issues to model them to see that you know
what I am bringing up.
Let me tell you.
The issues.
Hold on, I'm coming.
There are issues that have risen in regions, and I am looking at what the government has done with regards to these regions. And what they have not done with regards to this region.
First and foremost.
So, if you are applauding the Niger Delta agitation, the killings, the pipeline explosions, and you are defending it, and you are saying the agitation has weight. On the other hand, the agitation of the Igbos do not have weight. And then
Igbos have never agitated for anything.
The killing in the north does not even.
We have not discussed it about enough. Why are you talking this?
I am looking at. That's why I am looking at the consequence management and reward system of the government.
Laurentia, you are muddling the whole matter. If you want us to discuss it holistically, we discuss that. You brought the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. You are not bringing North and all that. Let me tell you this.
Yes.
First and foremost, Igbos are not agitating for what Nnamdi Kanu is agitating for.
What are Igbos agitating for?
Now, the only thing Igbos should agitate for, which they have raised,
that's not what they should agitate. What are they agitating
which they have raised right now during this constitutional amendment, is that the Igbos need one extra state, which they call animal or something state. That's what they want, and that for me is justice. The Nigerian government should look at it at the National Assembly.
That's not my question.
Hold on, I'm coming.
You said what
that is agitation.
What I said is what
the Igbos have always wanted.
That's not
the
correct.
what Nnamdi Kanu is doing is not an agitation. It's a personal interest, and he has gained so much. It has become a business for him. That's what I see. You talk about the agitation which led to the Biafran War. You don't know the history of the Biafran War.
Oh, you
what actually brought about the Biafran War is the interest of Ojukwu to harness the COR, the Calabar, Ogoja, and Rivers as at that day. That was his interest. And of course, you know that as at the day he had that agreement in Aburi, was the same day the leaders of this region decided that they cannot continue, and they went and met Gowa in Aburi. And after that agreement, here comes about the creation of 12 states, which he never wanted, and he broke out the war. At the end of the war, he allowed that he did something that was wrong. He apologized after all. So leave that issue. It's not what we're talking about. So when I'm talking about this matter, when you talk about the deaths, I can't sit here to tell you that it is right that people should die. No, it's not true. Now I talk about giving amnesty or what's it called? About headsmen are businessmen. Now that some people are hiding under the cloak of headers to kill people, it's evil. Now when you say they should stop headsmen, it means that you're also saying they should stop farmers. So it's a very critical matter that Nigeria should carefully look into. Recently, when the president went to Benue State, he saw that he has asked that those who have committed that dastardly act under the cloak of headsmen should be gotten to be arrested and prosecuted. So if you say headsmen should stop, it means that you're also telling other regions who does their own business in their own land to stop. So it means that Nigerian government over time has not actually quickly looked into this matter and provide a solution to it. You can't stop headsmen. Not every headsman is a killer. Not every man who is carrying his cattle, they are not killers. Those who are hiding under the cattle ready to kill are those who are killers. And those guys should be gotten by the Nigerian government. And so I think that what the Nigerian government should do in this respect is to create what we call ranching. Over time, there has been this law that has given Nigerian men who are into cattle rearing, that's freedom. They have roots from the end of northeast to the lowest base of the southwest or south rather. They have roots where which perhaps today they're no longer following it. But I think that now it has become to this extent where people are hiding under the close of rearing cattle to keep people. There should be this law for ranching, so that when you are rearing your cow or cattle, people understand this is exactly where you should stay to rear those cattle. No longer moving from one place to the other and hiding under the cloak to keep persons. I don't agree to that. I disagree totally. Now we're talking about those who actually agitated in our region. Those who killed people are criminals. Of course, a lot of times, even when we do demonstration on the streets, you can come with a noble idea. This idea is novel. People want it. People want this, would give this and that. But some persons who are criminally minded will hide under those cloaks and commit atrocities. That some persons went out of the original plan to commit whatever atrocity they committed in the days that they were doing whatever they're doing in the Niger Delta was wrong. But originally, the plan was that we do not want expatriates any longer. We don't want any oil exploration and exploitation here. And for that, the government should look into it. That was what caused it. Nnamdi Kanu, tell me exactly what he is agitating for, or he has been agitating for up to now. Nothing. That's not what I'm saying. I am not saying that the Igbos do not have right to agitate if they have anything that they feel is important. Like for me, this constitutional amendment committee, there's nothing they should do other than just giving the Igbos one state.
There's nothing they do other than now.
They should do. That's what I'm saying. Giving Igbos one state to equal what other regions have.
All right.
Okay? But out of telling me Nigeria is agitating for anything, it has no agitation for anything.
Clearly, you're a South man and cannot speak for Igbos. Because when you were speaking, you said what the Igbos should agitate for. Now, you are speaking in your opinion.
That's the area I feel they have been marginalized.
Hold on. You are speaking in your opinion of what they should agitate for.
Yes, you also told me what Nnamdi Kanu has agitated for. No, what exactly what you are agitating for.
I am not Nnamdi Kanu.
It's okay.
Last time I checked, I am also not an IPOB member. However, I am a journalist and I am looking at issues critically. Right? Now, saying of what you think they should agitate for. However, there are agitations on the ground, one that you cannot sweep under the carpet. Even though you are not part of their history and you will not understand their pains. It is what it is. And you cannot choose because you do not, the agitations don't make sense to you. Therefore, the agitations do not stand and it does not hold water. And may I remind you as well, while you are talking of, like you said earlier, when you were talking about Nnamdi Kanu having, was it police you call them, or military and armed men? While I cannot make a defense for that because I do not know what you are talking about. However, it is also very important that I bring to you of people like Tompolo in South and River State who have their own military and they don't hide it to say it. People like Asari Dokubo, who has his own militia as well and who does videos with them with arms. As Abuja, the latest one, has shown video with him and his boys coming out from the creek, armed. I can go on and on.
I will answer you.
No, hold on. We don't. This actually rhetorical statements. I can go on.
No, this person you call with the English, I will tell you. Asari Dokubo has a registered security outfit that even has a contract with the federal government.
Hold on, please. Now, going on, these things are issues that happened. Whether he has a security outfit or not, these were men that were militias and that worked during that agitation. However they tried to legalize it or not, they are issues that cannot be swept under the carpet. But you saying that what Igbos should agitate for, to a large extent, one would say, was that statement fair? Because it is not in your place to tell a region what they should agitate for. You don't wear their shoes. You don't feel their pains. You don't know what they are going through. You don't have their history. You did not bury their loved ones. You did not watch them die in the war.
The one they killed themselves.
You did not feel that pain. So on this ground, I'll move over to the next story. One, out of respect for the Igbo people, because it would have made more sense if an Igbo man was here to face you toe to toe.
I would have loved that. Would have even discussed
probably
in
the next conversation of this Nnamdi Kanu. I'll bring an Igbo person so that he will speak from the angle of the Igbo.
We'll discuss it very, very well. I would love that.
Yes.